Hi everyone, Ralphie here. In this video I'm going to share with you how to change software repositories to a different mirror in Linux Lite 3.2 Citrin. One of the first things you're going to want to do after you get Linux Lite fresh installed is to change the server from where you're receiving the software updates. You want to receive updates from a server closer to you, which might help you speed up your downloads. So by default, Linux Lite will automatically use a mirror that is closer to you based on your GeoIP location. The idea being that this will give you a best speed due to less latency. Now, while that is true for your software update country location, the base repository, it doesn't cover the Lite software, the repository location of Linux Lite software. So let's change both software updates country location and Lite software repository location. The steps in this video, like everything else in Linux Lite, it's well documented in the help manual under the update section actually. Let's go take a look at it. Update section, and here it is. All you need to know to actually all the steps you need to follow to change your software updates country location, as well as the Lite software repository location. It's simple and it's very quick, and it's probably going to help you get better speeds and less latency, as we said before. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my Lite software repository. So let me just search for a Lite software here, Lite Tweaks, for example. Right click on it, properties, and go to version, and there it is. It's telling us which version it's available right now and what mirror it's being pulled from. In this case, it's using a repo linuxliteos.com that we want to change. So let's go ahead and do our first part, which is updating our software updates country location. To do that, you're going to go to Settings, Repositories, and under the Ubuntu software, which is the base the base repository, you're going to go into Download From. I already have mine set up here in this case. This is the mirror I'm using. By default, it's going to be probably, I'm located in the United States, so by default, it's going to go into server for United States. But if you're not located in the United States, chances are you want to make sure you select a server based on your location, server that is close to you. So you're going to click on Other, and probably want to select Best Server. That's an automatic one-click option to run a couple of checks and decide which server is, the best, the fastest one according to your location. Now, since I already have my own selected, I'm not going to go through the process of selecting the best server, but you want to select either the best server or manually use the one you consider best for you if you have done your homework and you know where the server is located and what the speed is like. So I have my mirror selected there. Perfect. And I'm going to exit that out. That completes this first part of the documentation actually. Now the next part involves doing a little bit of manual changes or manual configuration per se. So the Lite software repository by default, as we saw, it it's pulling from repo.linuxliteos.com, and we want to change that. In the documentation, you're going to actually find a link. It's right here. It takes you to Linux Lite OS website, and it shows you, gives you a full list of all mirrors available. There is over 50 mirrors here, and they have a little bit of information that is going to be actually very helpful for you to decide which one to use. They have Canada, Ecuador, a lot of them. So just pick the one that is closest to you in this case and go with that. In my case, I'm going to be using this mirror here. There are a few reasons why I prefer that mirror. First of all, I'm the maintainer of it, so I use it because I want to make sure it's always up to date for everybody out there, and I want to make sure it's functional, basically. And it's also running on an uncast network, so it works pretty well. There are different locations responding to that same mirror, and that's where I like to use it. There you go. There are 5-6 servers, Luxembourg, and a couple of like 4 of them in US. And based on your location, it's going to decide and route the traffic to the closest server to you just by using mirror.unlockforus.com. That's why I like to use it. Feel free to use the one that works for you or the one closest to you in this case, which might be ideal for your case. Another reason why I use it is because there is a low balancing on them. If you look here, there is a mirror there, and as you browse, you see that the mirror is actually changing. So requests are being pulled from 2 different servers at any given time. Look at the system uptime there. When you browse, it says changed. So there's a couple of servers serving that mirror. So chances for both servers to go offline at the same times are very narrow, and that's another reason why I like to use that mirror. Anyways, let's go back to our documentation here, and let's follow the steps. So what we're going to do is we're going to be editing a couple of files. In this case, we're going to be, let's go ahead and do it together. We're going to be browsing to etc apt open sources.list.d folder as administrator, and there is Linux Lite.list and Linux Lite.list.save. Those are the 2 files we're going to be working with. So we're going to edit the first one, and you can either delete the default. I don't like deleting the default. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and comment it out, and I'm going to be actually using HTTP or HTTPS in case you want to use encrypted connections. Unlock4Us supports HTTPS connections, so you can use either or. And we're going to make sure we use the same version. If you look at the documentation, you have to actually pay close attention to this part. On their website, they explain that very clearly. Replace repo main below from your selected country repository with the corresponding name of the release series. In this case, my release series is ctrain, so that's exactly what I'm going to be using. Just copy that, and there we go. That's pretty much it. Let me just copy this because I'm going to need it again. Save those changes, edit our next file, command that out, and set the mirror we want to use in this case unlockforus.com. Save those changes, and that's pretty much it. That's all that needs to be done to actually change your software repositories. So I'm gonna run a sudo apt update just to update my repos. You don't really have to do this. I'm just doing it because I recommend it. Oh, I have Synaptic Package Manager open, so it gave me a little bit of an error at the end. There we go. And there's one package that can actually be upgraded. Now, since you're using probably Linux Lite because of the commodity of not having to be a terminal person, you can actually go ahead to software updates, install updates, and it will do exactly the same thing without you having to type any commands in the terminal. We'll now fetch the updates list. Click yes to make sure you update. You fetch those update list. It's gonna let you know that there's some updates available, and right now, before we actually update it, I'm gonna cancel that out, and we're gonna go back to Synaptic Manager and take a look at our Lite application, the same one we looked before, Lite tweaks in this case, properties, and when we go to version, we can actually see now that we're pulling updates from mirror.unlockforus.com that we want. So that's good. There's a little star there for Lite manual. That means there is an update for it. And if we go to it, it's going to tell us the version we're currently running and the version available in our repository. So there's an update for it. Perfect. Let's go ahead and update. And that's how you change software repositories to a different mirror in Linux Lite 3.2 Ctrain. That's all, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.